Deal 1 damage to all minions. I think I've said more than enough about that already. By the way, the fact that there are now so many ways to deal 1 damage to all minions might result in people not playing 1 health minions, which makes the effect actually worse. Zealous Initiate. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +1/+1. So it's essentially 2/2 worth of stats as in 1. But only if your opponent can't kill it while you... So if you play this on your turn 1 without anything else and your opponent... Maybe you can't play this... for example, you can't play this against a rogue if you're turn 1. Because you play this, he coins weapons, kills this, and then you're sad. But otherwise, not terrible. Okay, 2/3 for 2 with an upside, and a potentially strong upside. Awesome. So if you play Cthulhu, you will play this. Duskboar, a 4/1 for 2, with no text, but it's a beast. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's just too many 1 health minions, too many deal 1 damage to everything stuff around. No. Twilight Geomancer, 2 mana, 1 for taunt. Give your Cthulhu taunt. So a 1 for taunt for 2. So it's essentially added up, it's normal stats, but 1 attack is not good unless there's lots of 1 health minions around. Give your Cthulhu taunt. Do you really need taunt on your Cthulhu? I mean, it's going to be like 25, something like that. Not really, but still it's going to be a very big minion. Your opponent's going to try to kill it as quickly as possible anyway, unless he could kill you by going for face that turn. Nah, I don't think that this is too good. Especially because when you have 2 of them, the effect doesn't help you twice. Twisted Worgen, 3/1 stealth for 2. Okay, that's not terrible. I mean, you lose 1 health, you gain stealth. Could be okay, but with too many deal 1 damage to all minions stuff around, this becomes pretty bad. So, I don't think so. Power creep. So it's essentially a flipped Magma Rager, and it's equally as bad. Disciple of Cthulhu. Deal 2 damage. Battle Cry. Give you Cthulhu +2/+2. This could be quite good. Again, it depends how many 2 damage targets there are around. If people are running a lot of 3/2 2-drops, then this is an amazing 3-drop. If there are no good targets for 2 damage, which could be if everybody starts running 2 3s, then it's less good. But if there are good targets for 2 damage, then yeah, this is awesome. Silithid Swarmer can only attack if your hero attacked this turn. 3/5 for 3. Meh. Spawn of N'Zoth. Death Rattle, give your minions +1/+1. If you can make it hit a lot of minions, alright, but I don't think you can make it hit a lot of minions, so no. Squirming Tentacle, 2/4 taunt for 3. Like, in Dragon Priest, a 2/4 taunt for 2 was very good. A 2/4 taunt for 3. I mean, there's a 3/4 taunt for 3 that is considered to be quite good. Awesome in Arena. So is it still good with 1 less attack? If people are running lots of 3/2s, yes. If they're running lots of 2/3s, no. Twilight Elder. At the end of your turn, give your Cthulhu +1/+1. A 3/4 for 3 with an upside, that's good. That's playable, I think, if you need the +1/+1. Again, if it's +1/+1 is very good, this is not going to tick more than once, I think, most of the time. But it's a 3/4 for 3, so, and it has an upside, what do you want more? Aberrant Berserker, 4 mana, 3/5, and rage +2 attack. So it's a little bit less good than a Yeti, and if it gets damaged, it's a little bit stronger in its attack value than a Yeti. Yeti itself does not see play, so I don't think so. Maybe an arena, but even then, if your opponent has a way to kill it right away, then it's worse. So maybe. Blackwater Pirate, your weapons cost 2 less. For 4 mana, 2/5. How many weapons do you have to play for 2 less to make this useful? I don't know. I'm not impressed too much. Cthulhu's Chosen, 4/2 Divine Shield for 4. Battlecry, give your Cthulhu +2/+2 wherever it is. 4/2 with Divine Shield. Is that better than like a 4/5? I think so. Again, it depends. If your opponent is a mage, then Divine Shield is not that good. Otherwise, Divine Shield is pretty strong. So, especially maybe in Paladin, if you can have more Divine Shield interaction, then this could be quite good. Oh yeah, and again, if there's too many deal 1 damage to everything around, then Divine Shield gets worse. Again, obviously. Cyclopean Horror, 4 mana, 3/3, taunt Battlecry, gain +1 health for each enemy minion. So at best you're getting 7 health. I think this is... Nah, I don't think this is too good. Because if your opponent has lots of minions, you're going to gain some health. I mean 7 health at best. But you're not in a good position when your opponent has 7 creatures on the board. And you're playing a 3/3 taunt. No. Evolved Kobold. Spell damage +2 for 2/2 for 4. I don't think so. Infested Tauren, 4 mana, 2/3 taunt, summon a 2/2 slime. So the 2/2 slime does not have taunt. So it's 4/5 worth of stats, and the first 2/3 have taunt. I don't think so. A 4 mana 2/3 is too easily killed, and then you get a 2/2, which is also not very resilient, so... And doesn't have taunt. I don't think that this is very good. Polluted Hoarder. 4/2, so it's essentially double the stats, double the cost. Still the same effect. I don't think that this is very good. It could be alright if there's lots of 4 health around, and... But then again, with 2 mana, essentially every 2-drop kills this. Every deal 2 damage kills this. So, nah, I don't think that it's too good. Oh. Twilight Summoner. 4 mana, 1/1, summon a 5/5 Faceless Destroyer. So you get essentially 6/6 worth of stats for 4 mana, which is great. The distribution is quite bad though, because a 1/1 is not going to do much. It's incredibly slow. So I'd see it that you get a delayed 5/5 worth of stats for 4. Because the 1/1 that late into the game most of the time is not going to do much. Your opponent can just ignore it, so you'd play it on a turn. Your opponent has his turn, he ignores the summoner. You on your turn trade it into something, probably not killing anything, most likely. Your opponent's turn, your turn, you finally have a 5/5. So that's ridiculously slow. It might be better when you have a deck that's built around Death Rattle and you have more Death Rattle interactions, Feign Death and stuff like that. And in that case it could be better, but on its own it's definitely quite bad, I'd say. Even in Arena where value, personally I think value is a little bit more important than speed. Tempo is not completely, cannot be completely ignored, and this tempo-wise this is horrible. Corrupted Healbot. Death Rattle, restore 8 health to the enemy minion. 5 mana 6/6. I don't know. I mean, in a control deck, healing the enemy hero is not that important. 5 mana 6/6 is good stats, quite strong stats. Maybe in a control. I don't know. I don't think this is bad, but it's not rushing. I'm not going to say thinking, okay, I have to build a deck around this. Cult Apothecary. 5 mana for 4. For each enemy minion, restore 2 health to your minion. So we had for each enemy minion, restore 1 health. Somewhere. Yeah, here. 4 mana 3/3 taunt. 5 mana 4/4. And it gives me double the health. I think this is a little bit better than the 4-drop. I still think that it's not good. Because if your opponent has lots of creatures, then you don't want to restore health, you want to kill all the creatures. So if his creatures on average deal 2 damage, and you play this and you can kill several of them, this essentially does nothing. It just gives you a little bit more time. Killing all the creatures would do the same. So just run something that kills all the creatures instead of healing you for lots of creatures. Dark Speaker. Battlecry, swap stats with a friendly minion. Huh. If you have something that you need to survive, but then again you pay a lot of mana for that. Maybe there's some kind of combo I'm not seeing, but I think this is bad. Corrupted Seer, deal 2 damage to all non-Murloc minions. In a Murloc deck, that's awesome. On the other hand, with 6 mana, this is incredibly expensive. 6 mana, 2/3. Like, deal 2 damage to all non-demons. If you compare it to that, then this is really expensive. On the other hand, it also puts a minion on the board, and it's a Murloc, so it gets buffed by other Murlocs and buffs other Murlocs. I don't know. The effect can be awesome, but it's really, really pricey. Nerubian Prophet. At the start of your turn, reduce this card's cost by 1. So it's a 4/4 for a 6 is obviously terrible. How long do you have to keep it in your hand for it to become good? I think at least you have to bring it down to 3. So you could keep this in your opening hand. Oh, at the start of your turn, does that count for the first turn? I'm actually not sure. Probably. If it's in your opening hand and not... I mean, does this happen after you draw or before you draw? Probably before you draw. So if you have it in your starting hand, it's a 5 on turn 1, a 4 on turn 2, 3 on turn 3, so that would be good. And tempo-wise, it could still be alright later if you draw it later and keep it in your hand for a few turns to maybe make it 0, and then you can make a big swing turn, like a very expensive board clear like Flame Strike on turn 7 and then play this for 0. That could be pretty good. Scaled Nightmare. I think this is bad. It's slow and predictable. I like predictable cards because, well, you can work with them, but on the other hand, it's also predictable for your opponent, and he'll have, I mean, at the start of your turn, so you play it, then it's a 2/8, and if your opponent has something he can run into it, it's not going to kill everything with 2 attack. On your turn, it's a 4/8 for attack. On turn 7 is not something that's probably going to end the game. Then your opponent has another turn of time to work with it. Another turn, then it's an 8/8, and it starts to become pretty good, but that's just too slow. Bog Creeper, 6/8 taunt for 7. Okay. I mean, it dodges BGH, that's good. 7 mana for 6/8 of stats is... I mean, a 5/10 taunt for 7 is pretty amazing, but then again, more health on a taunt is better than... Like 2 more health on a taunt is better than 1 more attack on a taunt. In Arena, it's probably alright. Alright to good. And Constructed, I think they're better alternatives. So it's not bad, but not great. Grotesque Dragonhawk. 7 mana, 5/5 Wind Fury Beast. Wind Fury is most of the time just too expensive. And I think this is one of those cases. Doomcaller. 7/9 for 8/8. For 8 mana, give you Cthulhu +2/+2. If it's dead, shuffle it into your deck. So 7/9 as stats is it doesn't kill 8/8s. It survives 8/8s, but then it only has 1 health and gets pinged. Giving Cthulhu +2/+2 is alright. But I think the effect, if it's dead, shuffle it into your deck, is amazing. If you're playing very long games, you can play your Cthulhu twice, and that's great. But otherwise, no. Otherwise, it's just too expensive. So it depends on the meta. If the meta is for long games where you are realistically are going to draw your Cthulhu again, yeah. If not, no. Cthulhu! 10 mana, 6/6, deal damage equal to this minion's attack, randomly split among all enemies. So if you can get this strong enough, it wipes the board, it damages your opponent's face a lot, and... So yeah, Cthulhu, that's good. Faceless Behemoth, 10/10 for 10. I think you'd never run this. In Constructed. In Arena, it's not the worst. In Arena, it might actually be alright. It is good for you, like if you have a 9 mana minion and evolve it, then it's good to have something like this. On the other hand, it's not. Actually, it's bad to have this, because without this you like you don't get a 12/12 then. So no, for evolve this is actually a nerf, kinda. All right, that's which one did I miss? I had the Squirming Tentacle. Okay. So yeah, that's the card I got so far. I'm very happy about the new expansion, and because generally just new cards is always great. I'm not so happy about standard throwing out cards, or let's see, I'm conflicted about that. Very conflicted. On one hand, it could shake up the meta a bit. On the other hand, there's so many cards that I got, like, that I can't play anymore, and cards that I think that are awesome that I can't play anymore, and I'm not going to play Wild. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm Kamaleao. Have a good time.